Have you ever heard foreign troops would be sent to the U.S. state of New Mexico because the gangs are disturbing the law and order? To this day, New Mexico remains a state where law and order does not exist, but no country ever asked to send troops to New Mexico. However, in the United Nations, the U.S. asked permission to send troops to Haiti on the excuse of handling the gangs there. The U.S. must be asked about whether it has taken control of its own state and freed it from gangs. After voting in the United Nations, which is a Western puppet, permission was given for intervention in Haiti. But why is the West, especially the U.S., so interested in caring for Haiti? Well, that's because of Haiti's history and the new dirty plans to occupy it. History has shown that the West creates conflicts in a region and then goes there to resolve those conflicts. In this way, it finds ground to stay in those regions, carrying out their overt missions. So, what does the West want to achieve by occupying Haiti, and what is the response by Haitians? Let's know about that in this video. The United Nations Security Council has approved the deployment of an armed multinational force to address the challenges of widespread gang violence and political instability in Haiti. Haitian unelected, therefore illegitimate Premier Minister Ariel Henry has consistently appealed for military assistance, a call supported by United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres and the United States. During the vote, 13 council members voted in favor, while Russia and China abstained. Although endorsed by the UN Security Council, the force will not be formally under UN control. Rather, Kenya is anticipated to lead the mission, contributing 1,000 police officers. Support has also been offered by Haiti's Caribbean neighbors, such as Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, and Jamaica. The multinational force, referred to as Multinational Security Support, is slated to operate in Haiti for 12 months, with the timing of its deployment yet to be determined. The resolution additionally calls for a global cessation of arms sales to Haiti, except for approved security purposes. An advisor to Prime Minister Henry welcomed the vote, expressing optimism for the mission's ability to address general insecurity. Gangs currently exert control over significant parts of Port-au-Prince, leading to widespread displacement and insecurity. The mission's objectives include bolstering local security and supporting the Haitian National Police in their efforts against gangs. Despite existing international support, Haiti's security forces continue to face challenges due to insufficient staffing and inadequate resources. Prime Minister Henry addressed the UN General Assembly, stressing the urgent need for a military mission to restore order. He highlighted escalating violence, inflation surpassing 50%, and widespread food insecurity affecting 4.9 million Haitians. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged international backing for the plan, committing to substantial financial and logistical assistance. The Security Council, often hampered by deadlock, was lauded by the U.S. ambassador for achieving a historic decision, showcasing the UN's capacity to mobilize collective action. But it also exposed the United Nations. It showed that only the resolutions presented by powerful countries like the U.S. will be accepted, whether they are right or wrong. Yes, the rule of might is right is the functioning model of the United Nations. In another scenario, would Haiti receive backing if it presented a resolution that called for the military intervention of New Mexico because the U.S. is incapable of managing it? Well, the answer is no. That's why China and Russia, while abstaining from the vote, expressed a cautious and responsible approach, approving the resolution's arms embargo. Critics have voiced concerns about past UN peacekeeping mission scandals in Haiti, including allegations of sexual abuse and the introduction of a cholera epidemic. Some Haitians also question Prime Minister Henry's legitimacy, assuming leadership after President Jovenel Moïse's assassination in 2021. Henry maintains that overdue elections hinge on achieving a basic level of security. The UN's special representative in Haiti emphasized support for the mission within its mandate, clarifying that it is not a UN mission. The resolution, co-drafted by the United States and Ecuador, grants permission for foreign troops to stay in Haiti for 1 year, subject to a review after 9 months. The Biden administration has committed a minimum of $100 million to fund the operation. Jeffrey De Laurentiis, the U.S. Deputy Ambassador to the United Nations, underscored that this mission was initiated at the behest of the Haitian government and civil society, to address the prolonged insecurity and humanitarian crisis in the country. The mission's deployment aims to address Haiti's immediate needs and establish the necessary security conditions for long-term stability. Kenya had previously offered to contribute 1,000 police officers, and the Bahamas, Jamaica, and Antigua and Barbuda have also pledged to send forces. Despite the international intervention, there is opposition among many Haitians due to the disastrous history of past UN, US, and foreign interventions. Almost 2 decades ago, the US orchestrated a coup to remove Haiti's democratically elected president, Jean-Bertrand Aristide. In 2022, then French ambassador to Haiti, Thierry Burkhart, told the New York Times that France and the United States had essentially orchestrated a coup against Aristide. He claimed they pressured Aristide to step down and organize his exile, suggesting that France's involvement might have been motivated by Aristide's demand for reparations. Another French ambassador, Philippe Selles, informed the paper that the decision to extradite President Aristide had been premeditated. In response, James Brendan Foley, the United States ambassador to Haiti during the coup, refuted the allegations of collaboration with France to overthrow Aristide. He criticized the New York Times report, stating that there was no evidence supporting such a historically significant claim. Foley emphasized that it was not U.S. policy to remove Aristide and explained that Aristide had requested U.S. assistance, leading to the decision to dispatch a plane for his safety following nighttime discussions. On March 1, 2004, U.S. Congresswoman Maxine Waters and Aristide's family friend Randall Robinson reported that Aristide had informed them, using a smuggled cell phone, that he was forced to resign and abducted by the United States. He claimed to have been held hostage by an armed military guard. Aristide reiterated these statements in an interview with Amy Goodman of Democracy Now! On March 16, 2004, stating that he did not resign and characterizing it as a new coup d'etat or modern kidnapping. Many supporters of the Famille Lavalas party and Aristide, along with some foreign supporters, denounced the rebellion as a foreign-controlled coup orchestrated by Canada, France, and the United States to remove a democratically elected president. A 2007 book, Damning the Flood, Haiti, Aristide, and the Politics of Containment, by Peter Hallward, supports this view, documenting events leading up to February 29, 2004, and concluding that the rebellion was a modern coup financed and orchestrated by forces allied with the U.S. government. In a report published on October 28, 2005, Granma, the official Cuban news service, alleged that United States politician Caleb McCarry engineered Aristide's overthrow. Some witnesses have come forward, claiming they saw Aristide escorted by American soldiers at gunpoint. Sources close to Aristide also assert that the Bush administration hindered efforts to reinforce his bodyguards, though the Steele Foundation, the organization supplying Aristide's bodyguards, declined to comment. According to an April 2004 Washington Times article, Mr. Aristide filed a lawsuit in Paris accusing unnamed French officials of death threats, kidnapping, and sequestration in connection with his flight to Africa. The Bush administration denied the accusations, asserting that Aristide had personally requested help and voluntarily boarded a U.S. plane. Secretary of State Colin Powell and others refuted the kidnapping claim, stating that Aristide went on the plane willingly. The U.S. insisted that Aristide drafted and signed his resignation letter independently. Aristide contested that a letter he left behind did not constitute an official resignation. He stated, "There is a document that was signed to avoid a bloodbath, but there was no formal resignation." According to the U.S. Embassy translation, the letter reads, "Tonight I am resigning to avoid a bloodbath. I accept to leave, with the hope that there will be life and not death." A slightly different translation was provided by Albert Waldman, a linguistics professor and specialist in Haitian Creole at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indy. More recently, a UN mission left behind a cholera outbreak that claimed around 10,000 lives in Haiti. UN officials faced accusations of widespread sexual violence, including the abuse of children. Amnesty International has expressed concerns about the intervention, citing the alleged continued unlawful use of force by Kenya against protesters. Peace activists have criticized the move as a US-led invasion. In 2021, the special envoy to Haiti, resigned in protest of the Biden administration's policies in Haiti, highlighting the Haitian people's desire for genuine support to determine their own path without external interference. This isn't the first time the Security Council has voted to deploy what Haitians are terming an occupation force in Haiti, and it's one with multinational participation. In 2004, following the US-backed coup against the democratically elected Jean-Bertrand Aristide, the Security Council authorized the United Nations to send troops, with the Brazilian army leading around 5,000 soldiers. Upon the arrival of UN troops, their initial action was to attack supporters of the president who had recently experienced a coup. Throughout the 13 years, they engaged in several lynchings across the country. There were numerous instances of rape, targeting both women and children. Despite efforts by feminist groups, social movement organizations, and civil society members, justice has eluded these individuals due to the immunity enjoyed by UN troops. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. In 2010, troop numbers increased after the earthquake, leading to a cholera outbreak primarily caused by troops contaminating clean water sources used by Haitians for various purposes, including drinking and cooking. This blatant disregard for Haitian dignity resulted in 10,000 deaths, and today, Haiti continues to grapple with cholera outbreaks. Upon their arrival, UN troops seem more focused on securing multinational assets than providing the stability they were intended to bring. Despite a substantial financial investment, over $7 billion, during the UN's tenure in Haiti, little positive impact is evident today. The troop presence has diminished, and we now have a more politically oriented UN mission in Haiti, ostensibly tasked with organizing elections. However, the UN has been complicit in supporting fraudulent elections that have led to the establishment of the current ruling party, now in its third iteration. The Prime Minister, acting as president, was never voted in by the Haitian people. Consequently, the UN has played a role in undermining democracy in Haiti, where there is currently no parliament and no checks and balances against the cabinet of ministers. This summarizes some of the challenges arising from the UN mission in Haiti. While stationed in Haiti, the UN mission was tasked with training the police to combat gangs. Unfortunately, instead of witnessing progress, there is now a concerning scenario of 500,000 illegal guns circulating in the country, originating from the United States. It's being said that the Prime Minister demanded this intervention. But who will ask that this Prime Minister is illegitimate in himself? It was also said that civil society requested this occupation. However, in reality, if any faction seeks support for the police force, the majority of people are pushing for the United States to control its borders and prevent the influx of illegal guns into Haiti. The United States grapples with an ongoing issue with gun control, and in the broader struggle against the people, particularly the people of Haiti, gun producers ultimately emerge as the winners. According to the UN report, some of the most modern weapons come from the US into Haiti. What is the US government doing? Or is it deliberately allowing this smuggling so conflicts could be created in Haiti, having an excuse to intervene? Back in 2004, when the UN mission received authorization, they garnered support from the Caribbean community, which persists today with countries like Jamaica and the Bahamas committing to participate in the multinational intervention. However, as highlighted earlier, what essentially transpired was the erosion of democracy in Haiti. Since 2004, a group called the Core Group, comprising Brazil, Spain, Germany, the United Nations representative, the Organization of American States representative, the United States, Canada, and France, has been influencing decisions impacting the Haitian people and overseeing the dismantling of parliament. The Haitian people have already endured this type of occupation, and the current situation mirrors this historical pattern. What's more, we also have to focus on foreign investment in Haiti. While narratives in the United States often concentrate on chaos and gang rule, there's a substantial influx of foreign investment, particularly in minerals. Reports indicate deposits worth up to $20 billion in gold, copper, and the rare earth metal iridium, with Canadian and American companies making significant moves. The current administration has been accused of various wrongdoings, such as fraud and money laundering. The people of Haiti understand that the UN mission isn't genuinely focused on tackling gang issues. During the UN's presence, there has been a noticeable increase in the number of gangs, reaching a total of 200, with 95 exerting control over the metropolitan area of the capital. Interestingly, UN bases seem strategically placed to align with multinational investments, especially in free trade zones. It's not just about multinational investments. The current administration, now in its third term, has actively supported these investments instead of prioritizing crucial areas like infrastructure and social programs for the local population. Haitians strongly believe that this occupation is not aimed at establishing order, stability, or democracy, but rather at safeguarding specific interests, allowing certain individuals to accumulate wealth while the majority faces increasing poverty. Numerous voices have expressed concern about this situation. It's essential to highlight that the criticism extends beyond multinational investments. The current administration has actively contributed to subsidizing these investments instead of addressing vital areas like infrastructure and social programs for the well-being of the Haitian people. This intensifies the Haitian population's condemnation as they perceive the true motive behind the occupation. This move validates the criminal nature of the current government. The current government has been involved in numerous atrocities, including massacres and gang rapes. Juggling dual responsibilities as both Prime Minister and head of the police force, Ariel Henry bears direct accountability for the worsening situation. The Prime Minister's request for foreign intervention solidifies the international community's endorsement of a regime responsible for severe human rights violations. The United States, at the forefront of this initiative, is committing $100 million. Just imagine the impact if this considerable sum had been invested, let's say, 2 years ago to address the humanitarian crisis or to bolster the consensus government advocated by the Montana Accord. In other words, the U.S. is ready to spend $100 million on a military intervention that will give temporary results instead of investing it in strengthening the civilian system within Haiti. This shows ill intentions. Now, pondering the deployment of 1,000 Kenyan policemen, one must question how they will address the root problems of Haiti's governance system. Whether it's bringing in 15 Bohemians or 150 Jamaicans, the challenge persists. Can they effectively tackle this issue? The concern is that instead of resolving it, they might inadvertently legitimize a system lacking credibility. What's more, this military intervention will further encourage gangs to take up arms and worsen the situation. Earlier, when Haiti's police fired tear gas, the gangs burnt houses. Now, Haiti is in the midst of a pressing humanitarian crisis, with women and girls enduring harrowing gang rapes, at times in the presence of their children. The situation involves a population that has been displaced and is grappling with hunger. However, Ariel Henry isn't the individual equipped to resolve this crisis. In contrast to the current strategy, the U.S. government could actively promote a negotiated settlement instead of concentrating solely on deploying foreign troops. It's because Haiti requires a resolution that delves into the root issues and fosters a government committed to positive values. The gangs have also responded to foreign military intervention. Haiti's most powerful gang leader, Jimmy Cherizier, has vowed to fight against any armed foreign intervention. He said that if the foreign troops came and started shooting and massacring people, Haitians would rise and fight until the last drop of their blood. This means that not only the gangs but Haitians are ready to oppose the foreign troops. It's going to be very difficult for these troops to fight gangs, especially when the local population does not support the foreign intervention. The people of Haiti will never allow any country to occupy it or start building grounds for future occupation. Haitians know how they got Haiti and they know how to safeguard their homeland. To understand that, you have to know Haiti's history and the famous Haiti Revolution. Haiti's documented history traces back to 1492, when Christopher Columbus, a European colonizer, landed on a large island in the western Atlantic Ocean, later known as the Caribbean. The western part of Hispaniola, Haiti's location, was home to the Taino and Arawakan people, who named their island Haiti. The Spanish crown claimed the island, naming it La Isla Española, later Latinized to Hispaniola. By the early 17th century, the French established Saint-Domingue on the western side of Hispaniola, becoming a key player in the Atlantic slave trade. Before the 7 Years' War from 1756 to 1763, Saint-Domingue's economy expanded, driven by the export of sugar and later coffee. After the war disrupted maritime commerce, the colony rapidly grew. In 1767, it exported indigo, cotton, and 72 million pounds of raw sugar. By the end of the century, Saint-Domingue played a significant role in a third of the entire Atlantic slave trade. However, a crucial moment came. In 1791, slaves initiated the Haitian Revolution, the largest and most successful slave rebellion in the Western Hemisphere. Initiated by enslaved people in 1791, by 1803, they had not only eradicated slavery, but also ousted French control over the colony. In the 18th century, Saint-Domingue, known as Haiti, had evolved into France's most prosperous overseas colony, surpassing the revenue generated by all 13 North American colonies for Great Britain. This wealth stemmed primarily from the island's production of sugar, coffee, indigo, and cotton, all cultivated by enslaved labor. The French Revolution in 1789 triggered a complex situation in the colony, involving white planters, petits blancs, and three groups of African descent: free blacks, enslaved individuals, and runaways known as maroons. While white planters and petits blancs initially advocated for independence due to steep tariffs imposed by France, they remained steadfast in supporting slavery. Conversely, the free black population, numbering around 30,000 individuals, drew inspiration from the principles of the French Revolution. The enslaved, reaching close to 500,000, had a history of resistance, including various rebellions and acts of defiance against their harsh conditions. Events in France sparked revolutionary movements in Haiti, with leaders inspired by the French Revolution's Declaration of the Rights of Man. The ensuing civil war involved planters, free blacks, and petits blancs. However, the enslaved black majority, influenced by French events and led by Toussaint Louverture, rebelled in 1791, gaining control of a third of the island by 1792. Despite violent clashes resulting in significant casualties, they managed to withstand both French and British forces. Toussaint Louverture expanded the revolution beyond Haiti, conquering the neighboring Spanish colony of Santo Domingo by 1801. Nevertheless, in 1802, Napoleon dispatched General Charles Leclerc to capture Louverture and reinstate French rule and slavery. Despite Louverture's capture and transfer to France, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, another former slave and one of Louverture's generals, led the revolutionaries to victory at the Battle of Vertières on November 18, 1803. On January 1, 1804, Dessalines declared Haiti's independence, establishing it as the world's first black republic and the second nation in the Western Hemisphere, after the United States, to achieve independence from a European power. Now, various Haitians see the foreign intervention as an attempt to reoccupy Haiti. That's why we are seeing extreme opposition to foreign troops' deployment to Haiti. What do you think? Is it democratic to send foreign troops in a country against the people's will? Isn't it true that the West wants to get Haiti back, which was established when slaves rebelled and established a first black state? Let us know your thoughts on whether these troops resolve the conflicts or exacerbate them further. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.